All right. This about the Fed's biggest tool with trying to stop drugs in the federal prison. All right. This about the dry tank. You know, the dry tank. If y'all know what the dry tank is, put it in the comments. Let's start this thing going. Let's get it popping. All right. All right, this was about the dry tank, man. I'm gonna tell you about the dry tank, how the dry tank work. This the Fed's biggest tool with trying to stop drugs coming in the institution because we normally was getting it in through the visiting hall. I'm gonna keep it 100. Ain't no faking. Gunshots to keep it at 100. Gunshots to keep it 100. Gunshots to keep it at 100. Now I'm gonna tell y'all some things that a lot of other YouTubers probably wouldn't tell you about themselves because I tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly because I'm a part of all that. You understand? I got a little homie named Mo Grime. Big shout out to Mo Grime. Round of applause for Mo Grime. All right. Calm down. You know what I mean? I mentioned Mo Grime because his name alone tell you what he is. He's a grimy nigga. You know what I mean? He's a grimy nigga. But he's an official nigga, a loyal nigga, and an honorable nigga. Now, I know y'all say, how could somebody be grimy, loyal, honorable, you know, and have principles? You know what I mean? That's because we know who to give it to. If you weak, you know what I mean? You're going to get taken advantage of. That's where the wolf come out. That's where everything come out. All right? So let's get this straight. Now, so I'm going to tell you how it is. Now, we go on a visit. You understand? All this already documented because we all got knocked for it. They already put it in a, Federal Bureau of Prison handbook on how we do this and how we do that. So you fake ass trolls, this is already known about, so there ain't no telling. So shut up and gunshots to your fake ass. Now, I get to Lewisburg, you know what I mean? I get to Lewisburg, and this is before the dry tank, right? Because this is 94. I get to Lewisburg, they wasn't using the dry tank and didn't have that implemented at the time in 1994. So I get to Lewisburg and, you know, I was with my little man dude tonight, last night, and I'm gonna put up a video about 1 o'clock. I gotta edit it, you know, with me and Man Dude so you know who Man Dude is. You know what I mean? I call him Man Dude because he was a little nigga. I picked him up when he was about 10, 11 years old. He was running with us. You know, he was living in a number spot. You know what I mean? To show you how it is. You know what I mean? You know, life was hard, man. You know what I mean? So here go 11-year-old kid living in a number spot. And, you know, I didn't like the things that the elders had him doing. So I put him under my wing and I moved him up to the Mecca and I made him my son. That's when I say my son, it's not as a disrespect. That's my son because I love him as this. He's my bloodline, you know? And I start raising little Man Dude. So little Man Dude always got into something and he ran with the older dudes, you know, and he had heart like a lion. So if an older dude said something to him, little Man Dude, 11 years old, he throwing his joints up, he want to knock something out. I'm going to introduce y'all to Man Dude today about 1, 2 o'clock. I'm going to air a video, let you see who Man Dude is. But little Man Dude, I put him up under the wing and, you know, he start coming down to the Mecca. I got him start working for me. He ain't selling no drugs. He ain't carry no pistol. He nice with his hands, but I'm giving him game. And, you know, I'm trying to groom him into the criminal lifestyle because that's where my mentality was at. And that's all I felt I had to offer at the time, you know. So I got little Man Dude down there and I'm teaching him how to stick and move. But little Man Dude come visit me up in Lewisburg with Tawana. I said Tamika in the video, I'm going to give you a 1 o'clock, but it was Tawana. Rest in peace. Tawana was on Pistol Pete's case. She was one of the alleged drivers on Pistol Pete case. So Tawana and Shanique come up and they bring little Man Dude when I get locked up in 94. So now when he come up in 94, that was the last time I seen him, you know, until 2021. You know, when he came out of state prison, because of course, from the screwed up thinking that I gave him a man do, I'm looking at y'all and I'm telling you, I apologize. I did the best I could with what I had. That don't make it right. That's not mollifying. That's not making excuses. But I was grooming my little brother for the street, you know, my son for the street. I did it to my own son. I taught my son how to roll a joint. You know what I mean? I had him in there learning how to cook cocaine. Yes, I was a screwed up father, keeping it 100. But that's what my life was. So to me, that's what the next generations was going to do. And that's where you at when back then in those times, because I couldn't read, I couldn't write, didn't have none of that going for myself. You know, all I knew how to do was sling that dope and carry that pistol. So this is what I was offering my child. And this is what I was offering Mandu, who I picked up as my stepchild. Now, but I treated him as a biological because I love him to death. I love him today. Whenever he called me, I come out. That's the only man, if you fake ass niggas, you know, want to know, that's the only man, him and my little man Mo Grime, you know what I mean? Those the only two, you know, and my man Todd Warren. I got a few good men, you know. So I'm gonna give y'all something y'all don't understand, you know. Stick 'em up Charlie, EJ, you understand? I got good men that anytime they call me, I'm coming out. You understand? Anytime, I'm talking about they call me 3 in the morning, I'm coming out. Now, when you're my stature, you don't go out that time of night to go meet nobody. But these are men, and I want you to understand something, man. So, you know, y'all really understand how this thing play out when you're dealing with loyalty. When you in the street, you don't mind getting killed by street rules and street codes, you know? Now, if anybody, you know what I mean? If anybody, and I know y'all ain't gonna understand this, if anybody, you know, was to try and kill me, you understand? These men would be able to lure me out to my slaughter because I trust them with my life. You understand? And if I lose my life, I deserve to lose it because that means that I made a bad judgment call. But these are my brothers that thick and thin they did. I know y'all got them homies like that. They call you 3 in the morning, say they got a ride. You gonna be there ready to ride. You understand? Then, of course, you got cruddy niggas who will call you 3 in the morning, tell you it's time to ride. And when you go out there, time to ride, they meet up with you and they put a bullet in your head. Well, if I get a bullet in my head from one of these brothers, I earned that and I honor that. I'd rather them kill me than a lame. I'd rather them kill me than a lame. You understand? So that's the type of loyalty that we have to each other. Because if your man call you at 3 in the morning and say, come out, and you be like, what's up? And he say, yo, I need you. Ain't nothing else to say. You suit and boot and grab the pistol and you going out. You know what I mean? King Tut. Let me give you one about King Tut. Big shout out to King Tut. Give a round of applause to my brother King Tut, you know, out of Brooklyn. You know? King Tut. King Tut. King Tut told me something. I'm riding right now. I feel like one of my days I want to ride. King Tut, right? From Brooklyn, from the Pink Houses. King Tut, he told me when I was in, you know, Lee County, he said, Unique, man, you a smooth nigga, you a loyal nigga, you an honorable nigga, you a principled nigga. You're the only nigga that could call me to come out to this yard and I'm going to come out not strapped or strapped if you tell me to come. But you're the only nigga could lure me to the yard because I love you and I respect your gangster. This is what King Tut told me. He said, if you was to call me to the yard, I'll come to the yard. And if you was trying to kill me, you'll be able to get me because I love you like that. And that's how I love my homies. And that's how King Tut loved me. You know what I mean? Big shout out to Brooklyn, the East, the Pink Houses, the whole nine. But just so you understand, when you love a homie, you know what I mean? Generally love a homie, you put your life on the line and you put your life in his hands. And that's what I'm talking about. So this is what it is. So they bring little man dude, you know, I'm riding. Bring little man dude up there to come see me because that was my little son. So, you know, the females wanted to make sure, Tawana and Shanique, big shout out to Shanique Phillips out the Polo Grounds building too. They wanted to make sure I see my little brother. I've been locked up about a year at the time, so they bring him up there to come see me. And everything is good. So we get everything organized. How I'm going, bring the weed in the joint because I like to smoke my weed, and I'm telling them how to put in the balloon, how to bring it up, and I'm giving the whole nine, and I'm prepping them on a visit with my little man do that. You know what I mean? Not bragging about none of that, just letting you know where my mentality was at. So you trolls find somebody else to go. So man, dude come, and I told him how to bring it. So I put my little sister, Shanique, in charge of getting the females together that want to come visit me. So every time they come, they have balloons of weed so that they not just coming empty-handed. You understand? Because normally you go to state jail, you always bring a couple of dollars and you put some money on the person's books or a little package. You know what I mean? But definitely put some money on the books. I didn't want no money because you couldn't get my, matter of fact, back then, I don't remember. I think you might be able to bring money to the feds at the time. But you couldn't bring money to the feds. You had to mail it in. But the state, you bring it. So all I wanted them to do was bring the weed. So my little sister would set it up, and she set this one girl up, was going to bring some weed up, and she come up to bring me the weed, right? So when she come bring me the weed, she gets nervous. They had a van that used to come pick people up, like 2, 3, 4 in the morning, and then get on the bus by 6 o'clock to get to Lewisburg by 7:30. So they be the first ones there by 8 to try and beat the 10 o'clock count. Y'all know about beating the 10 o'clock count for visit. So, they load up with some balloons. She had about 10 balloons. She coming to see me. She get on the joint. She a good girl, straight civilian, but I didn't give a crap about none of that. You know what I mean? If you coming to see me, you bringing a pack. That's the mentality. You know what I mean? If you a real gangster and you doing time, that's why I say don't get involved with this prison shit and don't get involved with none of this because it ain't worth it, because this is where your mentality's got to be at. This girl had a job in a courthouse, and I didn't give a crap. All I cared about was you bringing a pack. Period. You come see me. I don't want no hugs and kisses without no goddamn balloons. That's where my mentality was at. So they loaded shorty up with the balloons. She ain't never did nothing like that. She worked at the little court stenographer or something. So she come up to visit me. When she come up to visit me, she got these little 10 balloons. But being that the van gonna pick up 3 in the morning to make sure she didn't go to sleep, she went down to Willie's Lounge on 125th between St. Nick and 8th Avenue, which y'all call Frederick Douglass Boulevard. So she over there at Willie's Lounge and had the van come pick her up there. So the van started off in Brooklyn, Queens, picking up the other females. They bring them over there to Manhattan, and they go to 25th Street and they pick her up over there at Willie's Lounge like 4 in the morning. Then they shoot up to the Bronx, grab a couple more people, then they shoot up to Lewisburg. When they get up to Lewisburg, she comes see me right from the club. So she was already up all night drinking in the bar, you know what I mean, a little tipsy, maybe drunk, whatever. But they ride up there to come see me in a little van called a prison van. So when she come see me and she come through the joint and she get there, they always pull over like at a little rest stop so the females could get, go in there, get their hygiene right, brush their teeth and, get ready. So when they come in to visit, I'm giving y'all some game right now. You know what I mean? Like I said, Cash App on the screen. Now, she comes and, they get their little teeth brushed up and they come in the joint. When they come in the joint, they coming through and being that, she was tired, a little tipsy, maybe drunk, in the van for the whole, hour and a half, 2-hour ride from New York to Lewisburg. When she gets there, she had the balloons in a pocket and she panicked and put them in the boots trying to get through the metal detector, So when she go try and get through the metal detector, she get there and right before she go in, she get off the line and she go in the bathroom and she take out the balloons and she put them in a coat pocket. Now, dumb move, you know what I mean? Which wasn't dumb. It was dumb because I'm going to show you why it was dumb. She put them in a coat pocket and then she go through the joint, And when she go through the joint, she made it through with them in a coat pocket. But now she goes through, but she had some boots on because it was winter, like November. 94. So she goes through the metal detector. When she go through the metal detector go off. She had on some cowboy boots that had metal spurs on it. So the metal detector picked up the spurs and they told her to take her boots off because they was ringing. She take her boots off and about 4 or 5 balloons she forgot to put in his coat pocket because it was early. Somebody else gave her the weed, so she didn't know if exactly how many it were. So being that she panicked when she went in the bathroom, she just went and, took them out of her boots and put them in a pocket and left some in the boots, and the boots went off. Now they catch the weed. So now I'm sitting up in the visit in the unit and I'm waiting on the visit. Me and my man Youngin, Big Bounty, big shout out to Bounty from Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Now, we up in the joint chilling. I'm waiting on the visit. I'm telling you, I got a little cutie coming. So they already know whenever we get a visit, somebody got to bring the pack. Like I said, you can't come empty-handed to see a gangster. So they know after the visit we gonna smoke weed. So I'm waiting. So they came like 8:30. No, unique for visit. 9 o'clock, no unique for visit. 9:30, no unique for visit. 10 o'clock count getting ready to begin. And they call me at 10:45, at 9:45, and they say, unique, go to the lieutenant office. My man said, yo, that's not a good look, son. You're waiting on the visit, saying to the lieutenant office something happened. Well, I had to ride it out. So I'm walking down the tier, and down the walkway past the red top. The red top is the center control over at Lewisburg, where they got all the controls that run the whole prison from the middle of the jail. It's an indoor jail. I go in lieutenant office. As soon as I go in lieutenant office, they said lock him up. You know what I mean? I'm like, for what? And they say, man, you'll find out. Lock them up. They put me in the shoe. So now I'm in the shoe, and Shorty's out there. I never get to visit. They never call me for the visit. Visit over. If it's like on a Saturday, that Monday they come see me and they give me a administrative detention, form saying that they keeping me in the shoe. You know what I mean? For further investigation, and they don't tell you for what. They just say further investigation, but I knew it was about that. So about a week later, they come see me and they say, look, we caught Shorty trying to bring the weed in. You know what I mean? She said you told her to bring it. She told on me and everything. You know what I mean? But it's understood. She is straight up civilian, so I had to wear that. So, that's not a rat. She a civilian, and I put her in a criminal situation, so I'm supposed to know that if something go down, she's not going to hold the water, but that don't make her a rat. Let's get that straight. You know what I mean? Because I'm manipulating her to do this. This is not something that she willingly walked into. She just wanted to come see me. The female said, if you're going to see my brother, you got to bring this pack. You know what I mean? She wanted to see me that bad. She gambled bringing it. When she got there, she thinking twice. She panicked, took the balloons out the shoe, and she panicked and puts them in the pocket and forgot them in the shoe and go through the metal detector to get knocked. And now she gets caught. And now she tells. So now when they come back, they come tell me. They pull me out. This is my first time dealing with the SIS, Special Investigation Service in the Federal Bureau of Prisons. So when they come see me, they pull me out and they tell me, look, you got life. So we can't do nothing to you. You know what I mean? But, for you to keep your visit, things like that, we need you to tell us that you told her to bring it because she already said that she was bringing it to you, So I know right there that they trying to get her on a conspiracy, that me and her conspired to bring, the pack, marijuana onto government property, and that would have got her 5 years, and 5 years wouldn't have hurt me another 5 because I'm doing life with no parole plus 20. So right there, I said, man, I don't know nothing about what that girl talking about. I didn't ask you to bring no weed. I didn't know she brought no weed. If she brought some weed, she brought it on her own. You understand? Now, I said that because as long as she bought it on her own, that could be like she forgot it in her pocket and they can't charge her with nothing because it's just weed. But now if we say that we talked on the phone and I told her to bring it, now we conspired. And that triggers what they call 18 USC 371, which is a general conspiracy, and that carries a minimum of 5 years for whatever it is. And I'm not going to put this girl in a situation to get 5 years. So they said, okay, well, we're going to ride you out in the hole and we're going to keep you back here. I said, all right, well, keep me back there. That's on you. But nah, I'm not going to do that to Shorty. You know what I mean? Now, being that she told and, they let her go, because they needed me now to corroborate it to try and give her time. But they couldn't give her no time, so they let her go and just told her you could never come see him again this whole bid doing life plus 20. So that's the last time you'll see that nigga. You know what I mean? So they come get me and they tell me straight up, they said, look, man, we just need you to cooperate. I said, look, I'm going to tell you like this. Don't come to my door no more. I don't know nothing about what you're talking about. I've been back here 6 months. I'm going to stay back here 6 years or 60 years. But I got nothing to give you on Shorty. Leave it alone. She's home. She's free. That's the end of it. Yeah, but we let you out now. We'll give you your visit back, and we'll give you 500. Because it wasn't stamps. That they said we'll give you, 20 cartons of cigarettes. Each carton go for $10. So they talking about giving a nigga $200 to rat out his female. So I told him, look, man, just get away from my door before this get real ugly. So they leave, they keep me back there. While I'm back there, my man Prime, rest in peace to my man Prime, another Brooklynite that I mess with, Old Ball Majet, and my man C, from the Supreme Team, Harry Hunt. Rest in peace to both of those men. Both of those men was on the compound, and those was my comrades, so they busy trying to get me out. So they go see, this he cipher, monkey cipher that was, having sex with another he cipher, monkey cipher unit manager. You know what I mean? And this he cipher, monkey cipher would go suck off the unit manager, and the unit manager would do whatever he wants. So they went, and the he cipher, monkey cipher would charge like 20 cartons of cigarettes, and either go suck off the unit manager and, get the unit manager to reduce or drop whatever's going on. So he go suck off the unit manager, and he come back. And he tells the homies, he said, man, give me the 20 books. The best I could do is I could get him out in 60 days, but he going to lose his visits for a year, but he is going to get his visits back. You know what I mean? And we could get him out the shoe now, but they're not going to drop the charges on him because he's too big of a fish, So the homies, sent me a kite, told me what it is. I said, hey, get a heat cipher, monkey cipher, the little 20 cartons of cigarettes, and let's get this thing popping. So they give it to me. I come out. Now I ain't got no visit. You know what I mean? So now I ain't got no visit, but shorty free. You understand? So that's how they dealt that. So then now here it is. We're going to speed forward because like I said, we riding and we talking about the dry tank. Now the dry tank comes into play. Here it is. Speed up. That was 94. Speed up 5 years later. I wound up going to ADX. I come out ADX in 99, May 99, like May 21st. I remember my dates, you know what I mean? Because these is my historical landmarks. And I knew what I was going through was history. And I knew to be worth something. I didn't know it would be worth, Cash App on the YouTube and all that, and enlightening the youth on what not to do. So I get to Allenwood after leaving ADX. So now I get to the joint and I'm still cranked up. I ain't gonna lie. I meet Guy Fisher, William Underwood, you know what I mean? I meet some, Big Joe. I meet some good men, before me, that was locked up before me. And these brothers are, like I said, I tell it 100. They didn't like me. I was an arrogant mother. I did what I wanted to do. Didn't care about nobody. Didn't care about nothing. So I got all these different mules. You know what I mean? Bringing, I'm sending the drugs to them. Have this girl drop it off and that girl drop it off, and they'll have their mother, their sister, their girl, or their brother come visit them, and they'll bring it in. And sometimes I go out there and bring in my own. So now it was a holiday, Thanksgiving. That's when a lot of people come, in the male prisons to visit their family members. So it's crowded out there, and you could get your shit off because you got a lot of, blocking. So it was like Thanksgiving. So I go out there on Thanksgiving, and I go get my little, my little balloons. And when I go out there, the girl that was bringing it didn't really want to bring it. So I'm telling her on the phone, if you don't handle that, don't come see me. You already know. I already told you the rules. You can't come see me empty-handed. There's no way in hell you're going to come see me, sit up in my face, touch all up on me, for 5-6 hours, and then I go back and I can't smoke a joint and reminisce on it. You know what I mean? So let's keep this thing going, bring the pack. So she brought it but didn't really want to bring it and wasn't planning on bringing it. So she packaged it at the last minute. You know what I mean? She packaged it at the last minute. So when she packaged it at the last minute, and it was like it was loose. She didn't even make it tight like it was supposed to be. So I go out on a visit, and it was big. You know what I mean? Because she just threw it all in one balloon. Said, I'm just getting shit to this nigga. I'm not gonna sit there putting no 10 balloons together. So she made like one big ass balloon, and she brings it up. So she thinking if she bring it up, I'm not gonna take it. But another rule that we got, if y'all been in the feds of the state, you already know. Once somebody bring you the pack, meaning balloons, you know what I mean? Not encouraging this, just telling y'all what it is to give y'all the jewels. Once somebody bring you the pack, you don't let them leave with it. You must get it in if you a real nigga, you know? So she gave me this big ass balloon. What the hell could I do with that? I take the balloon and I got the balloon in my hand and you know what I mean? I tried to swallow the balloon. I got the balloon in my mouth and my mouth is like this, trying to swallow it. And you know, they got the cameras, because at this time they got cameras, and the cameras beam right down on you. So the police see me with my jaws looking like a blowfish, trying to swallow this big ass balloon. And being that she made it so big and loose, I'm giving you a detail. If I say Cash App right there, I'm trying to get it down. I couldn't swallow it, so I take my finger, because normally you could take your finger or your two fingers and push the balloon down your throat, past your joint. And when you push it down, and you see the lump in your throat and then the joint go down, and now that might take a week to digest. You know what I mean? So I pushed the joint down my throat, and while I'm pushing it down my throat, it wouldn't go because my fingers was going through it, because like I said, she didn't make the balloons tight like she was supposed to. She had the balloons loose. You understand? So now I'm pushing my fingers down my throat, trying to push these balloons. So I get it past my joint. Now it's in my throat, and I can't breathe. I'm like, you know, I'm like the dude in Long Island was selling the cigarettes. I forgot his name. That must have said 56 times, I can't breathe. I'm like, and she's sitting across from me, and I'm losing my breath, and I'm about to pass out. So I like my cheese. What's that? The Cheez-Its. So I put some Cheez-Its in my mouth, and I took an orange soda. And I tried to wash it down with that to use the liquid from the soda to put it down, but I didn't want to just reach for the soda, so I put the Cheez-Its. Bad move. I got these dry-ass Cheez-Its clogged up my throat with this balloon, and I'm trying to use the acidy soda to wash it down. Mind you, I've been in ADX 5 years and just got caught up in Lewisburg a year after I was there. I allegedly stabbed 2 police, got all my teeth knocked out, nuts swole up, ribs broken, and wound up in ADX. I don't really have the visiting hall bringing it in down pack. That's why I'm sending it to other people. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's where we at. So now I'm choking, and the police see me choking. So the police called me up to the front because they already got me sitting in the front. I told you, you know, this is before Blanchard, you know, I told you about Blanchard, rest in peace. They got the police to back up off me and stop sitting me in the front. You know, what they call a hot seat, the very first seat right in front of them. So the police looking right in my face while I'm turning purple, you know, with this balloon in my throat. So he calls me up there, and I'm sitting there, my eyes rolling his head. I'm talking to him, and he's like, "You all right? What are you doing?" You know what I mean? And I'm like, "Nah, the chips were stale." I'm still holding the chips in my hand. I said, "The cheese was stale, and it got caught in my throat." And he said, "All right, but sit back down." So now, you know, I sit back down, and I wound up getting it past there where I could breathe a little bit, but I'm tasting the lump. If y'all ever swallowed a big balloon, y'all homies, you know, females and stuff, and been in the prison and swallowed a balloon, know that joint got stuck right here in my throat where you could damn near see it looking like an Adam's apple. But now I gotta wait for it to work its way down in my system and go through my tract so I can defecate it out. You know, this story gonna be a little long, but I think y'all gonna enjoy this. So I'm trying to swallow this joint, right? And I go sit back down. They put me back in the joint, right? And when the visit is over and everybody's lined up, the police come out. They're about 5 police deep. I tried to rush in to get to the front of the line. Figured if I got it in my throat, I could drink some shampoo. Y'all know about the shampoo. Some shampoo with water. Drink the shampoo, and you know what I mean? When you drink the shampoo, it'll make you and throw whatever you got in your throat back up. So I'm trying to get back to the unit to throw this balloon back up real quick, you know, because it was big as hell, and I definitely wanted it because this was that sour diesel. So now, you know, they come and they call my name, Unique, come with us. And they take me off to visit past the other 50, 60 men waiting to go back to change. And they take me in the back. And when they take me in the back, you know, they said, I go to strip. You got to strip, get butt naked, bend over, spread your cheeks. Disrespectful crap that maybe nobody want to tell you. My man 10 Toes Down told y'all about that. Big shout out. Go check out 10 Toes Down. You know, police, when you go to visit, you know, and when you move around, they tell you to strip butt naked and spread your cheeks open. I mean, this is so degrading. And, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. You know? But anyway, right? So I go in the back, and I'm thinking I'm going to take my clothes off. They said, nah, come to the lieutenant office. I go to the lieutenant office, and when I get to the lieutenant office, the little SIS dude that was trying to bust me was there. So, Feeney, I'm gonna tell you his name, Little Feeney. He out the Bronx, used to wear a little small ass Jets jacket, but he was a straight pit bull. I respect Feeney. Gunshots to Feeney. He did his job. Feeney calls me in the back, and he comes in, he drinking his coffee, and he said, look, I need you to give me a shit so you can go back to the unit. I said, give you a shit? He said, yeah, because we saw on the camera, that you was choking on something. We didn't see what you put in your mouth, but we saw you was choking, and you turned purple. And when the police called you to the front, he said you had a lump in your throat, so we need you to take a joint. I said, man, I can't just shit like that, man. He said, all right. So he said, well, you give me a shit, you go back to the unit right now. So he bring me the little bedpan. So I get the little bedpan, I drop my pants down, I'm standing over it, and I'm trying to defecate. I'm trying to force it out. But there's no way in hell the balloon went from my throat to coming out right now anyway. But no disrespect, keeping it 100. I'm so nervous, and I'm cold. And I'm shivering because I'm in the lieutenant office. Y'all been in the lieutenant office. They keep that joint on crazy high. They say to keep the germs out, but them Europeans wearing their short sleeve shirt there all day, so they like that cold. But old Jamaican like me don't like that. So we going to me, I freeze. I'm like, yeah. So while I'm shaking, they think it's from nervousness, but no, I'm just freezing cold from this AC. I couldn't defecate. They had this bad little Italian SIS chick was there. She used to come sit out on the bleachers out in the yard when they had mainliners where all the police and staff line up and you go to each department and tell them whatever gripe you got with their department. And this SIS chick used to sit there, and we used to have to go up there to go talk to her to say, yo, the homie locked up. You know what I mean? When he coming out, if he come out, nothing gonna happen. We need the homie out, whatever. And she'll sit there. She was a beautiful little Italian chick, nice little body, little J-Lo body. But she sit there with her legs cocked wide open where you could see her camel toe. And here we are doing life plus 150 years. Life said, well, we buried in time. And she got this camel toe in our face, and we asking about our homeboy. With more time, we forget about the homeboy and focus in on the camel toe. Just keeping it 100. Gunshots to the camel toe, But this how we was, right? So we up in the joint, and she tells me straight up, she said, yo, we caught you, we got you on camera, you was choking, you was turning red, you tried to drink the soda to swallow it, you couldn't get it down, you put your fingers in your mouth, and she running back everything that I did because it was all on videotape. I said, man, I wasn't doing nothing. I ate some stale-ass chips. You're lucky I don't sue y'all for selling them stale-ass Cheez-Its. You know what I mean? So I'm playing cocky, going right back at her, playing her game. And she said, all right, well, put him in a dry tank. Now, this is the first time I experienced a dry tank. I go in the dry tank. I got 4 bullets in me from when I got shot up and had to jump off that roof, right? So when it gets cold, the bullets get cold. And, I got a bullet up here, bullet in the right leg, bullet in the left leg, bullet in my left ass cheeks. I got bullets everywhere. So I go in there, and they don't give you nothing but a paper suit. You know what I mean? They give you a paper suit, and the cell is completely empty. And they got a police that sit there in a high chair right at the door, and he looks in the door. Like, see the door behind me right here? See that door behind me? That door closed, and those windows you see on the door, right behind me where I'm pointing at, the police would sit there on a high chair, and he'll look in, and he'll watch you for 3 days and 3 nights. And you got to give them 3 shits in order to get out. And each time you give them a shit, they play with it to make sure ain't nothing in it. So the police sitting there watching me, and I done stuffed this balloon in me, and I was only about maybe 165 pounds. You know what I mean? I worked out every day, and I ate good, so my metabolism was fast. You know what I mean? So, I knew I couldn't give him 3 shits because it might come out. Normally, if I swallow a balloon at by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, by 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night, it's coming out. So now they want 3 shits in order for me to get out in 3 days. So I know it's going to come up. So I go up in the joint, and I'm trying to think of a plan because this European is sitting in a high chair, and he's watching me. You know what I mean? Anywhere I move in the cell, he's watching me. He's watching me. If I come out in front of the door, he lean over, he's watching me. That was his job, to just sit there and keep his eyes on me. So I got tired. I said, okay, how am I going to beat this cracker? How am I going to beat him? So now, they brings the dinner. And I feel I gotta go to the bathroom. And if you ever swallow a balloon, you'll know when it hit your track, especially when it's big balloon. You know when it's going through your track because you'll feel it. You know what I mean? When it's about to come out. So now they bring the dinner. Luckily they had turkey. It was Sunday. You know what I mean? So it was Sunday during the Thanksgiving weekend, but it was that Sunday. No, it was on Thursday, Thanksgiving. So it was Thursday. They bring turkey and mashed potatoes with some gravy and gave us some milk. The milk is supposed to help you defecate. So I go in there, I tell them, yo, give me some milk so I go to the bathroom so I can get out of here. And I'm rocking my sleeve and I'm asking them out, yeah, who playing tonight? And I'm talking to my sports and I'm acting like it ain't nothing and I'm just doing me and trying to friend this cop up. And the whole time I'm talking, I'm smiling, I'm shucking and jiving, and he's sitting there looking at me like this. He ain't smiling, he ain't repeating, he ain't doing nothing. I said, oh, man. So now they bring the joint in. So when they bring the food in, I feel it about to come out because I drunk 2 milks. You know what I mean? So now I go to use the bathroom, Like I said, they try and bring the dry tank in there, but I gotta defecate to get this out without them coming in here. So I go right up to the front of that door you see, behind me. So I go right up to this door over here. And I'm talking to the cop, and while I'm talking to him, I'm standing up and I'm eating. You know what I mean? I'm like, man, this turkey good. You think you get me another tray from the kitchen? Man, they did their thing with this, man. Well, happy Thanksgiving to you. And sorry, you got to be here with your family. And the whole time I'm talking to him, I'm straining, I'm standing up, and I'm defecating. Man, like, yeah, I can't believe it, man. Yo, this turkey good, and I'm pushing it out. So while I'm sitting there, I defecate on myself in the joint. Yeah, keeping it 100. I know, like I said, I don't pull no punches. Just like I told you, I gotta tell you how I got cut in the face too. You know what I mean? Just like I told you, I got hit in the head with the lock. Big shout out to the nigga that hit me in the head with a lock, and the nigga that cut me in the face. All right, big shout out and a round of applause. And a round of applause. All right, calm down. That's all a part of the game. That's why I want to do this King Von FBG Duck to give y'all what the game is for gangbanging. But I want to make sure y'all ready to, accept it in the real, because y'all don't like the real sometimes. So you look for things that nitpick at to fit what you think is the real, because you ain't never been on the street, so you don't know what the real is. So you sit on the sidelines like a nigga sitting on the sideline saying that, Durant should have did this and, Kobe should have did that, but you on the sideline and don't even know how to dribble a damn ball. You know what I mean? So that's what we got on YouTube. Niggas on the sideline that try, dictate something they don't know nothing about the game or the streets. But anyway, so I'm sitting there, and I defecate the balloon out. So when I feel the joint running down my leg, you know what I mean? When I feel it running down my leg, it came out solid. It was no running joint, you know what I mean? When I felt the joint running down my leg and it hit the ground, I'm talking to him. I said, yo, let me get another milk. That milk good. Dude reaches back to go get the milk, and he's trying to watch me while he's going. You know what I mean? So when he goes, luckily God was with me. He drops the milk. And yeah, I said God. He dropped the milk. So when he drops the milk and he bend down to get it, I bend down real quick. I grab the balloon, I take the balloon, I put it in my mouth, and I start chewing it. I'm trying to re-swallow this balloon. That I just defecated through my feces. I put the balloon with the feces in my mouth. This is what I had to do to survive this, because they talking about giving nigga a new charge, stopping the girl coming to see me, you know what I mean, and all this other crap. So these are the desperate situations we find ourselves in. That's why I say, youngins, don't go to prison. You don't want to put yourself through that. Cash app on the screen. So now we sitting there, and I got the balloon in my mouth, and he's steady watching me, but I'm putting potatoes in my mouth, and I'm eating, and I'm trying to swallow it, but I'm chewing it. I'm putting some meat, and I'm chewing it up. But all I'm trying to do is chew this big-ass balloon up so that I could get it down in little pieces, because I know that big piece, I would have to put my finger in my mouth and go through all that crap again. So I chewed the balloon up, and it was too big for me to get it. When I chewed it up and the weed came out in my mouth, you know what I mean? I played it off, and I said, yo, let me get another milk. This joint dry. Let me get another milk. He watching me get the milk, and then I spit it back in the plate. Yeah, this some nasty shit, but I'm just telling you how a nigga had to live. I spit it back in the plate, right? When I spit it back in the plate, I mixed it up with the potatoes, you know what I mean, and the gravy, and it was in a white surgical glove balloon. So I mixed it up with the joint, you know what I mean? So now I mixed it up in the joint, and I'm sitting there and I'm eating and I'm using a little spark that they give me to try and separate the weed out the balloon. And, I could get the balloon small enough where I could just swallow the whole balloon because I can't leave no evidence in the cell because there's nothing in the cell but me in this white paper suit. They're going to come in with this little, bedpan for me to sit over and defecate in front of 5 police and a lieutenant in a white shirt. Y'all know how that thing goes. So y'all know I keep it 100 official. So I'm sitting there right now and I got it in my mouth. And I got it where I could swallow the balloon. You know what I mean? But I'm tasting this shit in my mouth. You know what I mean? All I'm thinking about is I'm not trying to get Shorty jammed up by me getting jammed up with this joint in here. So I'm sitting here eating shit, my nigga. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping it 100. Yeah, call me Shitty Mouth. You know what I mean? I'm sitting here eating shit. Big shout out to Shitty Mouth. You know? Big shout out to Shitty Mouth. All right. Calm down. Gunshots all day. So now I'm sitting there, I'm eating it, I get it all down. And now, I ain't even fronting, you know what I mean? I had to take the potatoes and spread the potatoes around my mouth to get the shit taste out my mouth. You know what I mean? After I done ate this balloon, right? So now I'm in the joint, and while I'm in here, right, I tell them now I gotta go to the bathroom because I know I just ate it, so I know I'm good, But from drinking all that milk, eating the potatoes and the gravy, it kind of gave me the runs now. But I just re-ate that, so I know that got to go through my system. It's going to take another 12 hours, so I got to get them to hurry up, come in here, give me these 3 shits so I can get out. So I press them, they bring the lieutenant in there, so we go and I sit over the bedpan, and I'm trying to let it out. Like, like that nigga look like he thinking when he on the toilet. I'm there like this with these 5 police watching me, degrading me, disrespecting me. I just wish I had a knife so I could put it in every last one of them. I'm just telling you where my mind frame was at that time. I'm not telling y'all to go through none of this. But I'm sitting there and I'm trying to shit and I'm looking at these crackers looking at me standing up while I'm sitting there trying to defecate in a bedpan. I'm like, how disrespectful and degrading can you get? You know what I mean? So I'm pushing and it's cold. You know what I mean? I'm feeling funny with these crackers looking at me. So I wound up letting out a little poop. You know what I mean? So I let out a little poop, nothing else wouldn't come. So I look and they look in the thing, expect to see a whole bunch of poop. They're like, yo, what is this? I said, man, y'all got a cold in here. The bullets is cold. Look at my medical record. I got 4 or 5 bullets in me. This shit is too much. I can't handle it. So he said, all right, well, we're going to take it and show it to the SIS. So they take my little feces. They take out a big, long spatula that they put on your tongue when you go to the doctor. And they play in that little poop to see if it's a balloon in it, So they take that out and they come back. So a couple of hours later, I said, man, I got to go to the bathroom. So they come back again. I do the same thing, another little poop. So the next morning, I tell them early in the morning, man, I got to go. But now I feel it done came through because now that little 12 hours that normally take is there and I know it's about to come. So I said, man, I got to go now, man. Either that or I'm going to defecate on the floor. Get me the pooper scooper. I got to go now. So they come and they bring me the joint, and now the SIS dude is there feeding, because, that was, the night before, Thanksgiving night. So he comes now, and when he comes, he's standing there, and he said, what's going on? I said, you tell me. Y'all told me to give you three shits. I gave y'all 2. I'm giving you a 3rd one. It's freezing in here. Y'all killing me with this cold, man. I'm going to give you this crap, and then I'm trying to go back to the unit. You know what I mean? He said, yeah, but it wasn't really nothing but a little poop. I said, listen, man, if I put something, in my ass, it'll come out right now. If I swallow something, it would have came out by now. You think I stuffed something in my ass, so therefore, if you think I stuffed it, that means that whenever I go to defecate, whatever I push out, that got to come out first. You accusing me of stuffing something in my ass. Come on, dog. And he's like, you know what, you right. Give me this one more shit. So I give him the one more shit, nothing come out. So he said, all right, release him back to the pound. I'm happy now. Hold on, we got to get the music going. I'm talking about I'm happy. They said, release him to the pound, man. Hey, it's a party. Keep it going. I'm going back to the pound, y'all. So I'm ready. I'm going back to the pound. So I'm partying and I'm dancing. I'm like, oh, man, I beat this dry tank. Nobody beats the dry tank. You know what I mean? So now, it takes him another 2 hours to come get me. So while I'm in there, I got to really go right now. but there's no running water in the dry tank. You know, there's no running water in the dry tank. So it's nothing for me to do. Nothing for me to do. I'm like, oh, man. So I turn around and I tell him, I said, hold up, man. Tell Feeney he need to come and get me. He said he a man of his word. He wanted three joints. I gave him 3 joints. Nothing came out. Now he going against his word. So if he come to me and ask me to give him my word, I'm going to give him my word just as strong as he gave me his word, which ain't going to be worth crap. So they tell Feeney said release him. So they hurried up, let me out. So by the time they let me out, because every, you know, the homies was coming up there to the medical, you know, is where they got the dry tank. They was coming up there all morning and all night saying, what's up with the homie, what's up with the homie? So by the time I come out, my man over there, you know what I mean? I got a couple of my men waiting for me as soon as I come out. So I come out, shitty mouth and all, dried up potatoes all on my gums. So I come out and my man said, yo, how you beat him? I said, man, I ate that shit. He said, get the fuck out of here. I said, yeah, get me back to the unit and get the unit open. So one of the homies, you know, because his compound is in the middle where he got the running track and then the units around it. So I said, man, I got to go. Go down to the unit, get them to open the door. So when the homie run down to the unit like he running the track, he go tell the police, yo, open the door, Hall coming back. So he come back. And they said, who they say you meet? They said, oh, my bag. So now they bust the door. So by the time I'm walking fast trying to get down there, as soon as I get in the unit, I go upstairs to my cell and I take out some paper. Because, you know, I be giving y'all too much game. I took out some paper. You got to take the paper like this. I took out the paper and I put it in the toilet so when I defecate in the toilet, the feces is going to stay on the paper and not run down the toilet. So I takes out the paper and I sit down real quick and I let it out. When I let it out, this big balloon came out. This long-ass balloon that I done ate and swallowed came out. And it still had a big chunk of weed in the side. Then there was weed all in the feces from where I was eating the weed. So I go open the joint. Listen, man, it's some nasty shit, but I'm just giving it to you raw how it is in prison. So if you niggas want to go to prison to go smoke some weed, go do this. So I sit there and I take the joint out, I take the feces out, and I go tell my man, I said, dog, I sit it out, but the balloon opened up. He said, man, you know, wash it off, but wash it off lightly so that you don't get the THC off that joint. You know what I mean? So I take my hand in the toilet, I take the joint, and I hold it under the cold water, and I'm just letting the cold water drip on it to try and get the thick feces off it. I know this is some nasty crap. I'm just telling you how it is in prison. So I'm just trying to get the feces off it. So I get the feces off it, and I lay it out on a piece of paper, and I let the shit dry for a couple of hours, and the little piece that was in the balloon, you know, the acid and all that from in the stomach, you know what I mean, that ate the balloon with me, chewing it and everything, done got in the weed and everything. But I took that, rinsed that off lightly, and I laid it all out, let that shit dried up, man. And that night, we smoked like a mother. We smoked some shitty weed. You know what I mean? Big shout out to the shitty weed, man. You know? Big shout out. Big shout out. You know what I mean? So we smoked some shitty weed and went and got some white lightning and used that to wash down the shit taste that we smoking. But that's how bad we wanted to smoke, being in prison with no weed, that we sitting there smoking weed that we defecated out, my nigga. You know what I mean? And the crazy part is, I turned around and I bagged it up and was selling like little dust joints for 5 books of stamps, because each book costs $5. Each one of these books is $5. So I tell him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tell nigga, give me $25, I got a joint for you. So I give him the joint, but then, you know, I wrapped up. I didn't tell him how it went down. But when I give it to the nigga opened it up, you know what I mean? It smelled like straight shit. It smelled like doo-doo. So a dude came back, he said, yo, that weed was good as a mother, but it smelled like doo-doo. Yo, the nigga is telling me it smelled like doo-doo. I said, nigga, you know I was in the dry tank, nigga. You know what I mean? So they started laughing. They said, all right, well, give me 3 more papers. You know what I mean? And started buying. But that's how crazy we are in the joint, you know what I mean, to survive. So, you know, this is just me running. And let me say this. I didn't want to say this during the joint, but let me explain this, you know, for the fake-ass trolls, you know what I mean? Now, you know, I keep putting the Cash App announcement up just to let y'all know that someone duplicated my account. Not asking you for a Cash App because I'm always there, you know, if you want to donate. But just so you understand, because people been sending the money to the wrong person, because they made an account using my exact government name and my exact Cash App username and Cash App. You know, they taking a little slow. They got his IP tracked down, so I'm comfortable with that. So I put that up so y'all understand what it is, that this is what my Cash App look like. So I don't want to bore y'all and keep going with the Cash App. This ain't no soft press, because a lot of fake niggas heard me telling about what a hard press is, a soft press, and they trying to manipulate it in to make me ask for a Cash App or soft press. But I like it because that means that I got them thinking, so they're learning, so my mission is accomplished. So thank you for thinking that it's even a soft press. But remember, a soft press is when you pressing somebody and you giving them nothing. I'm giving you game and jewels. You know what I mean? So this could never be a soft press to you fake ass trolls. Just go somewhere else. All right, so you go to ad now. So you understand I'm explaining about the green check. Special announcement, man. This is what my Cash App look like. It must have that green checkered box to the right of my name. No picture of me, none of that. This is exactly what my Cash App look like. Once you put in Unique Mecca Hall and you get ready to send it, it must have that green checkered box. Let's get this thing going. All right, so that's what it is. Just so y'all understand how that thing go. Go to my Roku channel, watch my videos, go to Spotify and other podcasts and download the videos at Unique Mecca Audio is all I'm asking. Don't even trip on the Cash App. Just go download a video from one of my podcast stations, Unique Mecca Audio and Spotify, and go subscribe at Unique Mecca Audio TV. I'm going to start doing lives over there. Let me knock this out, give you all the outro, and we good to go. Cheers. Crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, he back on the strip, get it back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse and put it in home. He cut from the bottom, I came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you gon' get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you gon' visit. Then you consider yourself linked. Sit front row, get juice from a kingman. I went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. Did not pay attention when was stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grands got along. A man that generated minutes on the block, did his time, never swilling to the cops, Mecca Audio. Get it out like 2 G's in the night. Drop top beaming so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind. Spin a couple bands on the dapper pen. You got that pen, he green like Pat's fan. No cap, it's a raw uptown. They hard uptown, the minute they bust down. Now we on the positive, you gotta lock it. Now you tryna stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend it dead. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now we're about selling drugs, buying cars, buying property to make the community y'all. So we can get back to the youth them, cause they the truth them, and bless up to all the rural them.